Texas versus Clemson. Could you break down this matchup and who you like the best of those two teams?
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of attention on the quarterback in this game. Cade Klubnik for Clemson from Austin, which kind of adds some spice to this game. And, look, Clemson, to be honest with you, I don't think they were anywhere close to one of the 12 best teams in the country. They got in by winning the ACC's automatic bid, but over the course of the season, they've been pretty average as a football team. Now, later in the season, I think they've shown some better signs, but still, just a couple weeks ago, they lost at home to South Carolina. So they're far from perfect. They're not even close to the program they were in 2016 and 2018 when they won national titles. But they're good defensively. I think they've improved on offense a little bit over the course of the season. I just think they're going to have a very tough time scoring on Texas, arguably the best defense in the country, playing at home. I don't love Texas's quarterback situation. I think they've been very choppy offensively, but I think they've got enough at home to beat Clemson in this first round game.
Rapid fire picks here for the 4 games. Give me a winner and a quick line or two on why you'd like them to win. I don't want you to break my heart here, but I want you to be honest. Indiana at Notre Dame.
Excuse guys, I'm going to be honest with you.
You laugh.
The way that Notre Dame runs the football and the weather and the physicality, I just think all of that will play a part in this game. So I like Notre Dame in that one. I think it's going to be close, though. I'm sorry. You guys had a hell of a year, though. You had a hell of a year.
Hey, it's about time. We've never been good, so.
Yes.
All right, up next, SMU at Penn State.
So I'm a little biased because my oldest son committed to SMU to play football. So I'm going with the Mustangs to upset Penn State on the road. I think it's white out at noon. I love Kevin Jennings. I love Brashard Smith. I love the dynamics of that offense. I think they can score on anybody. Give me SMU in just an absolute thriller this weekend.
Okay, Clemson at Texas.
I think Texas wins this one pretty handedly. I don't know what the spread is on this one, but Quinn Ewers' quarterback situation makes me a little nervous at Texas. How healthy is he? But I do like Texas. I think they overmatch Clemson. I think they beat Clemson pretty handedly this weekend.
Last one.
The last one's the hardest one.
Yeah, Tennessee at Ohio State.
I think I've said this before, and I still believe it. I think Ohio State, when they want to play well, I think they're the best team in the country. Because of the lack of offense that Tennessee has at times, and Ohio State's defense is elite, I give Ohio State the edge. I think it's a lower scoring game, to be honest with you. I think it's a close game, but Ohio State wins at home at night in the shoe.
In your opinion, which atmosphere do you think is going to be the best?
That's a great one. I think Penn State, even though it's a noon game, we've had big noon kickoff games there. That environment's crazy. It's 108,000 people for a playoff game is going to be nuts. And then Ohio State at night is going to be crazy. Ohio State, the shoe gets rocking. It's going to be cold. I do want to say this. I think Notre Dame, and this is just because I'm not a Notre Dame guy, I don't necessarily think it's a tremendously great home atmosphere, but it is supposed to snow potentially that game, which would be kind of a cool atmosphere to play in. So I would probably rank Penn State 1, Ohio State 2, Texas 3. Texas gets rocking pretty good, and then the Notre Dame would be 4 of those 4 games this weekend.
Notre Dame, Indiana in the first round of the college football playoff. What is your prediction for how this game ends?
Yeah, I can see a reality where Indiana is explosive enough to win this game because, I don't think Notre Dame can keep up if they fall behind. At the same time, though, this Notre Dame team is way more talented. They're more physical. I have a hard time believing Indiana is going to be able to slow them down and win at the line of scrimmage. So I've got Notre Dame pulling away to win something around like 31-17.
Game prediction for SMU, Penn State in the first round of the playoffs. Who you got?
It's been a good run for SMU. It's been a good run for the Ponies. I think they'll put up a good fight, but Penn State has home field advantage and just top to bottom has the more talented roster. I'm going to take the Nittany Lions 32-24.
Clemson versus Texas. What's your game prediction? Who wins this one?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going for Texas, and I'd have to agree with that. I think I'm going to go with Texas as well. For me, it's the Texas defense. Like, can Clemson really put up points? Cade Klubnik, he was kind of quiet this year. There was a lot of hype on him, especially when he took over at that quarterback spot a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, I don't know. Something about the Texas defense for me, I think, is going to put Texas over the edge. At least when it comes to this game, I think Texas will take the edge. Again, I have 21-7 on this one.
Tennessee, Ohio State, who wins?
I think Ohio State wins in a close one. You know, you look at the first round playoff matchups, and this one to me projects as the most evenly matched game. You know, Tennessee much better at home than they are on the road, so I think that's advantage Ohio State. Ultimately, I think Ohio State wins a close one, maybe something in the say 24-17 vicinity. I don't think this will be a super high scoring game. Again, I think it will reflect the strength of both teams, which are the defenses and the ground games for both teams.
The college football playoff is here, and we're going to make some straight up picks for the first round. Number 10, Indiana at number 7, Notre Dame.
I just think Notre Dame is a bit too physical in the trenches. You know, we saw Indiana really struggle in their game against Ohio State when they were overmatched talent-wise. I've got Notre Dame winning here at home.
Yeah, I've got to go Notre Dame as well, as much as I want Indiana's magical season to continue. Let's go over to number 11, SMU, at number 6, Penn State.
I think between Drew Aller, the running backs, Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, I think they're going to be too much. I think they're going to run over this SMU team. And especially in the frigid Happy Valley conditions, I've got Penn State winning this game.
Yeah, I do too. And that's something that I think is definitely going to be a factor. Not only is Beaver Stadium already one of the most intimidating atmospheres, but for a home playoff game, that environment is going to be turned up to the max. Over to number 12, Clemson, at number 5, Texas.
I have a hard time believing Clemson's going to be able to put up a lot of points. I think Texas wins this game probably fairly easily.
Especially when you factor in that this game is in Austin, I just don't think Clemson has it. Texas all the way here. Number 9, Tennessee, at number 8, Ohio State.
I just think Ohio State is the more complete team right now. Playing at home, I would give them the edge.
I don't have a lot of faith in Tennessee, but somehow I have less faith in Ryan Day and Chip Kelly and their ability to get something going on offense. I think the Vols pull out a road win.
Yeah, to me, I look at Notre Dame's offensive line. I think we've seen a lot of teams struggle and a lot of offensive variance this year because a lot of teams don't have very sturdy offensive lines. Notre Dame's has been pretty great throughout the season, and it's been a big part of the reason they have so much success, particularly running the ball, you know, between Jeremiah Love, Riley Leonard. They're really effective in that regard. I think that's ultimately going to be the X factor here, and it's why I kind of think I see this game potentially playing out similarly to the way the Ohio State game did for Indiana.
Yeah, the X factor to me is SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings. He's had kind of a Jekyll and Hyde season, and when he's at his worst, it puts the Mustangs in tough spots. His 3 lowest passer ratings this season came against Clemson, BYU, and Duke. And SMU lost 2 of those games and probably should have lost to Duke in that wild game where Jennings turned the ball over 5 times. I think Jennings, frankly, probably needs to have the best game of his season for SMU to come out of Happy Valley with a win.
Yeah, for me, I think it comes down to quarterback Cade Klubnik and what he's able to do, trying to get the ball out to the receivers. Especially, again, it's just this defense for Texas. You know, we could talk about it all day. They're pretty elite. So it's just a matter of what Cade Klubnik is able to do and what Dabo Swinney is able to do in terms of scheming up something for them. But yeah, with Klubnik and Brian Wesco Jr., the receiver, they were able to, I think it was 2 touchdowns they were able to connect on during the conference championship game. So for me, I think that's the pairing to watch out for.
I think it could be quarterback play. You know, we've seen both these quarterbacks be a little bit up and down this season. Will Howard, the Ohio State quarterback's been pretty good for most of the year, but he didn't have it against Michigan. And when Ohio State needed him to come up with some big plays to pull that game out, he couldn't get it done. He threw 2 interceptions in that game and directly had a hand in that loss. When you look at Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava, I mean, this was a ballyhooed recruit, number 1 ranked recruit on signing day a couple years ago. You know, Nico at times has looked like a freshman in his first season as a quarterback, as a starter, I should say. And now he's going on the road where Tennessee has lost twice this season and what could be a difficult environment. I think it'll be a real test for the freshman quarterback, as it will be a test for Will Howard as well. This will be one of the best defenses Ohio State has faced all season. So, I hate to oversimplify it, but this game could be decided by the quarterbacks, the 2 guys at the game's most important position.